Welcome to Sex Talk Radio, a podcast that explores sex, kink, and intimacy through candid conversations with sex workers, researchers, and voices shaping the conversations on sexuality. This episode is brought to you by Testy, a sexual health company I founded launching early 2026, which will revolutionize same-day walk-in STI testing. Head to testy.co to get on the waitlist and get a discount on your first panel.
And that's honestly why I stayed in my marriage for so long.
Yeah.
I was ready to leave. I even asked for a divorce, and it turned into, well, let's keep trying. Let's do everything we physically can. Let's make sure we exhausted every option so we know. I didn't need to do any of those things to know, baby, we are incompatible.
Yeah.
Honey, I don't need a therapist to tell me something that I can feel in my body.
Right.
I know in my body when I'm with you, I'm not safe.
DiAnne. Dirty DiAnne on Instagram.
That's right, baby.
Welcome to Sex Talk Radio.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Me too. I usually don't share all the subjects we're going to cover, but I am right now because I think that it'll just be helpful to give a little foray into what we're talking about.
Let's do it.
Had a lot of requests for themes like this. So we're going to be talking about motherhood and divorce, sexuality after divorce, slut era after divorce.
Yes.
So if that speaks to you, just stick around because I think it's a very important episode and it's been requested a lot. So yeah.
I think it's direly needed, honestly. I think it's
Yes.
they're all topics that people are afraid to ask out loud. It's something they don't want to ask in big rooms, and I think they're all topics that should be discussed in massive rooms, you know?
Yes.
I think these are all topics that everyone should be comfortably talking about because then we won't have to be scared anymore.
Yeah, and not just, also to clarify, like not just divorce, like I think that leaving a long-term relationship too. Like my goal is for somebody listening to this that has one foot out the door of a relationship to get like the final push, because I had a long-term, basically sexless relationship. You had that with your marriage, and like I probably would have left a lot sooner if I'd had a little kick. So
many of us just feel very alone. You know what I mean? Like you feel alone. You're not sure what you're supposed to do. You don't think anybody's going through what you're going through. And then the reality is so many of us are going through it. So many of us are so ready to just jump ship, but it doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? Like you're like,
well, I felt embarrassed. I felt like,
yes, exactly.
Well, everything else is so good. We are such a good team. I can go the rest of my life having obligatory sex once a week. And it was like, no, like you're in your late 20s. But there was this guilt and shame that I put on myself of like, just make it work.
That's a huge thing. And that's honestly why I stayed in my marriage for so long. I was ready to leave. I even asked for a divorce, and it turned into, well, let's keep trying. Let's do everything we physically can. Let's make sure we exhausted every option so we know. I didn't need to do any of those things to know, baby, we are incompatible.
Yeah.
Honey, I don't need a therapist to tell me something that I can feel in my body.
Right.
I know in my body when I'm with you, I'm not safe. Aww. I didn't need a therapist to say that to me. Yeah. But we did it. And I stayed for an additional 2.5 years with someone that made me miserable. Yes. And it's so, it's a really embarrassing thing to think back that I didn't honor myself. You know what I mean? I didn't honor the things that I felt. I didn't honor all of the ways that I was being rejected. Yeah, it was just embarrassing sometimes when I look back at it. And I'm like, let's make sure nobody else feels that way again. Yeah. And I try to speak on these subjects as candidly and openly as I can, because it's really not anything to be embarrassed of.
Definitely.
It really actually isn't, because I'm like, oh, I feel so embarrassed. None of us are talking about this. None of us have any reason to feel confident in coming to somebody and saying, you know what, you're such a great person and I'm such a good person, but we are terrible together and we should not keep doing this. Like, I don't need to exhaust anything else to know that I don't feel good with you.
And to not make that decision, to avoid making that decision also because of what people might think. Or like for me, like my whole family really loved this guy. And it was like, oh, I don't want to upset them and let everyone down. And it really is, that decision is usually like a reclamation of self-respect too.
Girl, some of my family they won't talk to me, but they talk to my ex.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, and guess what? It's worth it. It's 100% worth it. I'm totally fine with it. So that fear of, what are other people going to think? If anybody's thinking negatively of the choices you made and they're not supporting you, you should be glad those people are not in your life.
For sure.
Be glad that they've left with that person and let them support whatever it is they're going to support, but be just so proud of yourself for making decisions just for you.
Yeah. Well, and what I'm excited to talk about too with your story is like, this is all relatively fresh. And like, that became clear today. Like, we're friends. Like, we talk all the time on like Instagram, but like, there's so much I don't know about you. And realizing today that like, you only got divorced like a year and a half ago. Like, you don't need to wait 5-10 years to have your sexual reclamation. Like, it can all happen really fast.
It can. Yeah. And it did happen really fast for me. So the week I got divorced, I met someone on Field, and he was the catalyst to my growth and me just realizing I'm perfect the way that I am. And all of the things that were rejected, all of the things that, you know, in all my past relationships, they said this is too much or it's unrealistic or you can't have it all. I met somebody who gave everything to me. And it didn't have to be forever, and it wasn't forever.
Right.
And I was completely aware of the fact that this is not going to be a long-term thing, but my joy, my passion, my confidence, my sexuality is with me forever. This is me. This is who I am. And I deserve to have all these things. There's not a reason why someone should ever be saying you can't have what you want.
Yeah.
You can. You can have it all. Absolutely. You can have it all. And it's just a matter of you refusing anything else.
Yeah.
Which is hard. Creating a boundary where you have to... I feel like we should go back and start talking about the how do we get to that point so we can get to the boundary part.
Yes.
But yeah, so I met somebody really, really early on, the same week that I got divorced. And it was incredible to just be so open. You know, I allowed myself to, what would I say? I allowed myself to be curious.
Yeah.
About what I wanted, because I was with someone for so long. We were married for 8 years in a completely sexless marriage. We're having sex maybe once a month if I was lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, there were times where we wouldn't talk to each other for days. It was It was really bad. I mean, the rejection was intense. I was always feeling like there was something wrong with me. So really, I was in a place where I was so curious. Like, who am I really? What do I really like? What brings me the most pleasure? What things do I not really like? Because there's no way for you to know what you like until you experience shit you don't like.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't know I didn't like this specific thing if I didn't give myself the permission to just experience it in a safe place and alone. You can experience this alone. You don't have to be with anybody to have new experiences or to explore your sexuality. Girl, you don't even want to know how many dildos I own. And I can tell you which one's my favorite and why. And, you know, it took me doing uncomfortable things. It took me doing things that were embarrassing alone, like at home alone, doing things where I'm like, I hope
that was weird.
Yeah. I hope I don't do that again ever. But you know what? I would rather have done it alone or just done it in general and know. Like, I want to know what I do and don't like. I want to be in control of my body. I want to feel confident saying, hey, this is who I am. These are my preferences. This is what I do and don't like, so that I'm always enjoying myself.
Yeah.
Why would you? Maybe not why would you, but you really should. You really should put your pleasure first. And that's really what made such a huge difference for me when I was, you know, right out of the divorce. I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm like, girl, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
How are we going to be super happy?
Yeah.
How am I going to honor myself most after going through such a long stretch of being so unhappy? It was by figuring out what makes me happiest. That was really all it was. It was me sitting down with myself and being super, super honest and thinking hard. Like, okay, this is what I really don't like. And I really don't want to experience it again. But I can't.
What's an example?
I'm trying to think of something that everybody could relate to.
For sure.
That's tough because I like a lot of nasty things. That it really is. It's like really tough for me. So like, and again, so things that I do and don't like, they change with the seasons. Sometimes I really like we were talking about earlier. Like right now, I don't like spitting. I don't want you to spit on me or in my mouth or any of these things. But ask me 4 months ago. Right. That was my shit. That was my shit.
It shifts. Yeah, it can shift fast. It can shift depending on the partner and certain like responses or triggers. Like it's all very fluid. I think that's important for people to know too.
So I think like a good example is I love aftercare. And it's something that's really important to me. Yeah. And it's something that I just naturally do. It's not like I'm like, okay, now it's time for aftercare. Yeah, it's something that I naturally do. At the end of a sexual experience, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say, what was your favorite part? What did you like most? What do you want some more of? Yeah, give it to me. And somebody who doesn't do that is like, it feels like I'm being underappreciated and I wouldn't even take it that far. It's just like, it's something that I fucking enjoy. I want to talk to you about what your favorite part was. And I want for that experience to be elongated in some capacity. And I like hearing that. I like words. I like when someone
praise
tells me.
too. It's like coming full circle of like, I really enjoyed this part of this thing with you.
But not only that, I'm very much give it to me straight. I want to know.
Yeah.
Just tell me, because again, this goes
let's
back.
Iterate and make it even better.
Well, yeah, this goes back to me saying like, you can only be confident if you know yourself really well. I can be, but I'm more confident in sexual experience or with a partner when I know what they really like, so that next time I can do it again and better. You know what I mean?
For sure.
When you share those things with other people, it just really amplifies that connection. It truly does.
In your marriage, were you not receiving aftercare and like that kind of?
Oh no! Like afterwards, I would almost always say like, "What was your favorite part?" Or I would say, "Oh, this is what I really would like." And my ex every time would just be like, "Why do we have to talk about it?" No cuddling afterwards. No, just we did it, girl. Get off me. It was kind of what it felt like. Like, what else do you want at this point?
Yeah.
It was like, I want connection. I want intimacy. I want to feel seen and valued and hot.
Yeah.
More than anything, I want to feel fucking sexy, dude. I don't want to just fucking jump up and down on it and then go to bed. That's it. That's all I'm worth. That's all I get.
Right. Well, I feel like there can be, I feel like with long-term relationships, there can be these like micro rejections or like, I mean, I remember there have been circumstances where I would like just wanting kind of touch from my ex, and it would be like, that wouldn't get be reciprocated. And that would make me feel like he's not attracted to me, or like having an ex who like initiates sex by like slapping your ass or just like grabbing your waist. I'm like, it's just...
Don't do that to me.
Men. No, this is like an important announcement. Like there are other ways to get a girl excited. Like we don't need an ass slap or a hip grab. Like there's a time and a place, but like that doesn't make me feel like I don't know. There are just all these little things that I feel like can happen in relationships as the years go on, where it's like, is that the only way we're courting each other to have sex? Like, is that it?
That's and a lot of times it is. It's just you get into this. Yes. I think there's so many excuses we make when we are in long-term relationships. Yeah. Like, well, I'm so tired. Well, I've been working. Well, I did this. Baby, when you're single, you are still doing all those things. That's not an excuse.
Right.
There's not a reason to prioritize your pleasure. There's not a reason, or to not prioritize your pleasure. There's not a reason to not make it important. There's not a reason to not make intimacy and pleasure really important and really special with your partner, because it could be as simple as, like you're saying, an ass grab and all this. It takes the same amount of time as it would for you to say, you look fucking amazing and I would love to see you in the bed right now.
Oh,
that's it.
That goes
girl, it goes so much further. Like walking up to, instead of coming behind her and slapping her ass, put your arms around her and whisper something really fucking hot that you know she likes.
Right.
Why not?
Yeah, you had shared that the compliments were lacking in your marriage as well.
So there were that just didn't exist. I was never complimented. I mean, to the point where I was fishing for it, where I'd walk in the room and be like, do you like this?
Yeah.
I would straighten my hair intentionally just to see, like, are we going to notice today? I mean, there were times where it would be days before he would notice something new about my appearance. Yeah. And it just didn't exist. And it was really hard for me because I am a very verbal person. I am a huge lover girl. I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking about you. I'm going to text you that I miss you. I'm going to, like, my ex would walk in a room and I would just be like, oh, you're
been
here.
Waiting for you.
You're here. Look at you. And that was even when we hadn't been having sex forever. And I still, that's just who I am. Yeah. That's not something that's ever going to end. And you know what? Right. That was something that we went to therapy to fix. She's hypersexual. No, I'm not. I'm not hypersexual.
I want to be met where I'm at.
Exactly. And everybody can be met where they're at. But you have to discover who you are in order to identify another person that is compatible with you. Yeah. You have to figure out where am I? Who am I?
Yeah.
Like, how can I find a partner that is truly compatible with me if I don't know who I am, what is important to me? What is the essence of DiAnne? I'm a very romantic lover, creative, just intimacy fiend. I cannot be with, like, the person that I was with, just super detached, no words, no compliments. I don't want to be around you. I've got other shit to do. I'm so tired from work, blah, blah, blah. And it's like,
Yeah.
We live in the same house, bro.
Right. That's not compatibility.
There's never a reason why you shouldn't feel like you're unable to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
That's never. And and now that I'm single, I look at it, and we were talking about being lonely. You know what I mean? Like people are so afraid to be alone because they're afraid of being lonely. I'm never lonely. I was more lonely when I was married than I am now living alone with no boyfriend. I don't have partners. I don't have boyfriends. I don't have anybody who texts me every day. Hey, good morning. No, but you know what? I feel fucking great because now I know exactly who I am. I can recognize people who are compatible with me. And I don't need any outside influence to make me feel good. Yeah. I wake up in the morning and I look in the mirror and I'm like, bitch, yes. Bitch, yes.
Well, and I feel like it's really great for women to hear that who are thinking about leaving a relationship or a marriage. And they think that there's this like multi-year long road ahead to finding their confidence or their sexuality. Like you've all done this all in the last year and a half.
I've done it all in the last year and a half. And like we were saying, so I met that partner. Joel came into my life and it was a whirlwind. And I think this is something that actually we were talking about. I think this is something that happens to a lot of people where they get out of this long-term relationship and they all of a sudden are just met with someone who is able to give them everything they're looking for. Yeah. And usually it's because you're just like, I'm so fed up. I just want it. And you put yourself out there and you open up and it just shows up. And it's to tell you, it's totally possible to have all the things that you want. Yeah. It's totally possible if you're just open to it. And really that's what it came down to. It was that I was so exhausted with asking someone for really basic things.
Bare minimum.
The bare minimum. Like truly.
And your wife, girl, I'd like a compliment. Like,
truly the bare minimum. Like, hey, when we go to lunch together, can you not use your phone? Could we have a conversation while we're at lunch? Yeah. Or even, can you invite me to lunch?
Oh, geez.
Girl.
Yeah.
No. I have people that, I don't even want to get into it. I'm like, oh my God. So the thing is like all the things that hurt, all the things that hurt me deeply when I was married were all of the things I discovered in this person that I started talking to. Joel showed up and it was, praise. It was, being very loving, being a big one was the attentive. He was so attentive to me. Yes. I mean, I didn't even start a shower for myself. He would cook, he would clean. I would show up and I was just someone's girlfriend for a weekend. Yeah. But again, I wasn't in a relationship with this person. Right. This was like a friends with benefits type of thing.
You can still be doted on and nurtured and have somebody obsessed with you, even when it's not your boyfriend. Like that can exist.
You don't have to be in a relationship. And I think that could possibly be a fear that a lot of people had. Like I knew when I got divorced that I wasn't going to jump into a relationship again. Totally. I'd seen so many friends just jump into something new because, like I said, you usually will find
you're like very open during that time.
Yeah, right after a divorce, you're just like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna serial date and I'm gonna, experience
and then they get wifed up so fast.
And then they get wifed up and it's like I knew that I had healing to do. Yeah. I knew I needed to rediscover myself. I knew I needed to play with my body. I knew I needed to play with other people. And I knew more than anything that I just really, really needed to heal my heart within, like, for me. Yeah. Like I needed to love myself so deeply. And after, I have 4 kids. That's tough.
Mommy.
It's tough when you have 4 kids and, I have great genes, but, it was one of those things where I got to the point that I'd look in the mirror and, overanalyzing. A lot of us, especially if you have kids, if you're a parent, but even if not, I just feel like in society now, women in general, we stand in front of the mirror and there's this like
critique. Yeah.
Like you're looking at, no, this is just it. This is just what my body looks like. This is what I look like. If I want to change it, I've got to spend a lot of money to do that. And if I wanted to, I should. But the fact is, this is my body. Yeah. This has gotten me here this far. I love her. She's had 4 kids. She deserves to have me feel so confident in her. Yeah. Why not?
Well, and I feel like that can be a reason for some people, even just that, to stay in a relationship. Well, they really love my body. They're accepting of my body.
So like, the accepting, like, it's so much work for somebody else. And is anybody going to want me after having kids? They want you. They all want you. These men don't give a shit. Baby, I've showed up with hairy ass legs, hairy ass armpits, and they're happy to see me.
Yes.
And
I keep
no one
seeing
complains.
memes of like, I've gotten 100% of the men I've gone after. And it's like, It's not that hard.
It's not that hard.
They're excited to get laid. They're excited to be invited to the party.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what makes those experiences so much better is when you know how to tell people what you want. So the body thing was a big one for me. And so what I personally would do would be just sit in front of a mirror and look at myself and tell myself, like, baby, you look good. It's good. You're all good. This is you. This is who you are. I would masturbate in front of a mirror.
Okay.
And it's not something that
People
I did.
say that. I get nervous. So intimate.
It's very, very intimate. But more than anything, I wanted to see what my body looked like to someone else. I wanted to see what positions I felt most confident in. I wanted to really experience myself the way someone else would experience me, which sounds kind of crazy. But
it hadn't been of interest or curiosity when you were in a long-term marriage or relationship because it was just routine. Yeah.
So I'm a photographer and I do all my self-portraits, and that was one thing that I really jumped into really deep with Joel was, taking photos and videos of myself and sending them to this person, because when I would send them to my ex, he would say hot, or he would like heart it. I mean, I'm sure that I've got plenty of thumbs up on a fucking nude, dude.
Oh God.
Yeah. So
Please
embarrassing.
Never thumbs up. I don't want a thumbs up for anything.
There should be nothing less.
Unless it's like my dad. Like dad thumbs up.
Maybe. But like if you're sending men, please, if you ever get a nude, you need to break it down and be like, you are the most incredible, beautiful person, and then describe what you like about it. I don't know why that is such a tough thing, instead of being like, oh, you're so hot. Your hair looks incredible. Your eyes are piercing. Your lips look like this. Like those little things go such a long
I feel like it often
way.
Just gets made about their dick. Like, oh, that made me really hard.
That,
like, we're talking about me.
I'm dripping right now. I know you are. I don't need to know that part. I need to know what got you there. What about it is making you drip? What about these photos are making you hard?
You need partners that are good with their words.
I definitely need people who are good with their words. But more than that, I need people who can see me. You know what I mean? Who see past the fact that I look like this, or, see past whatever it is. I just feel like so many men are just not really digging deep.
Yeah.
It's all very surface level. And but this goes back to me knowing myself. This goes back to me understanding what is really important to me. Because when I have these very surface level communications, I clock that shit like that.
Let's back it up a little bit. Usually I start with a little bit of background of like, where'd you grow up? Kids, all that stuff. Tell me a little backstory.
So like a breakdown of who I am, basically?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I am a San Antonio native. I lived in Texas my entire life. I have 4 kids. I've been married twice.
Okay. When did you have your first baby?
I was 17 when I had my first son. My oldest son is 22.
Wow.
I have 10, 15, 21, and 22.
Okay.
Yep. And I've been a photographer pretty much my entire life. I don't remember a time as even a small child. I've always had a camera. It just feels right. It's what I'm supposed to be doing. I love it. I love it more than anything else I've ever done. Yeah. And I don't have any other fun things to say about myself. Like that's the most, I mean, was
there a sexual part of you prior to the marriage, or was it always like serial monogamy?
I have always been a super sexual person. As a kid, I idolized fucking Dolly Parton.
Totally.
I love Pamela Anderson. Like the bigger the tits, these women that looked like bimbos were the women for me. I love it. I think it's amazing. And I just was always very drawn to it. Always drawn to sex work. Always drawn to strippers. Like I couldn't understand what was wrong with it. Like these women being so confident, like really harnessing that energy, that confidence, that I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm going to wear what I want.
I'm going to make money from men.
Exactly. But being able to say the things that you want to say unapologetically was something that I desperately wanted. Because in my marriage, I could not do that.
Yeah.
In any of my relationships thus far, I've not been able to do it until this past year.
Wow.
Because I stopped giving a fuck about what any man felt. It was all about me. It's about my pleasure. It's about what makes me feel so sexy and confident. And even if we're removing the sexuality out of it, I know myself so deeply. I know myself so deeply. I have sat with myself in very, very dark rooms and fucking made a fire, you know? And I did that all by myself. I didn't do that shit with help. I did that by sitting and really digging deep. What makes me feel unsafe? What makes me uncomfortable? What makes me feel alive? What is it that makes me feel most like me? And all of those things I fucking honor to the ends of the earth. There is no one who can make me feel bad about who I am. And I think that is such a difficult thing for women to get to, because we feel bad about everything. I feel bad about asking for help. I feel bad about how I look in this. I feel bad about fucking everything. When I was married, I was just the saddest bitch on earth because I felt so bad. I can't even imagine it.
Like, that's the craziest part.
I wish you could meet some of my friends, because like my super closest friends.
Right, because they've seen the actual transformation. Whereas I just met you.
Yes, and it's so hilarious because I'll post something about when I was married and they're like, bitch, I forgot you were married. I forgot about that.
You're just hot, single DiAnne that has OnlyFans and does all the things.
Yeah, and I used to be someone's wife. And I was a very quiet, docile woman for a really long time. And then I started doing underwear modeling for a business in Austin. It's called Under Club. They just asked me to come out and model with them, and I was like, all right, great. And I didn't give my ex an option.
Yeah.
It was to this point where it was to this point where I was just like, I really want to do this. And especially then, I was not super in shape. I was probably like 15 pounds heavier than I am. I wasn't like feeling incredible about myself. I felt very much like a woman who was in a failing marriage with 4 kids. And it was like, you know what? I'm going to fucking do this for myself. And if he's upset about it, fucking divorce me. I'm so tired of this person not just letting me just be who I want to be. Like, this makes me happy and you're stripping me of joy, sir. And I did this modeling, and these are photos that are online that are on this website to sell the product. And so I'm like, great, they're online already. I'm going to post them. And he threw a fit about it. Threw a fit. He was like, why did you post your underwear photos? I'm like, because they're online. Like, they're already on the internet. Why can't I celebrate this body that created 4 kids who it's gone through fucking hell and back? You know, why is that wrong? Why are you not posting them? Why are you not celebrating me? Why are you not excited that your wife is confident and proud of herself and gorgeous at that? Like, girl, nothing. And I was just so fucking done with it already. I was just really, really tired of not being seen. That was probably my biggest thing. And that's what took me to OnlyFans as well. I'm tired of not being seen. This should be looked at.
Yeah.
This is not only worth being looked at, but being paid to be looked at. And I am.
Yes, you are.
It feels fucking good. And I'm excited about it. And you know, what's fun about that is it all started with Joel. It was Joel. Like, I'm such a slut. I'm such a dirty fucking slut that I would take photos and videos and I would send them to him. You know, like I said, I'm a photographer, so he's getting like really good
high
shit.
Quality, yes.
He's getting really good shit. And finally he was just like, baby girl, you know you could be making some money off these things, right?
Right.
I don't know. Really? You think so?
Right.
He was like, no, I know so. I would pay money for this shit.
Yeah.
You just need to do it. You just need to do it.
Were you nervous about that at all? Or you were?
I think I was more, because I have like rejection sensitivity. I think I was afraid of failing. That was my biggest fear, was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put my ass out on the internet.
Right.
And
what if no one comes to the party?
No one's going to like it. Yeah. And everybody loves it. So
it's also like a long haul. Like, I didn't stick with Patreon or OnlyFans because I struggle with sticking with shit long term, like consistent posting. But like, you have to be in it for the long haul, and because it takes a few months for it to like get revved up, you know. Yeah.
So I started back this April of 2024, and I'm not seeing anything out of it until the last like 2 months.
Yeah.
Like, the past 2 months have been excellent for me, but it really took me, you know, like you said, sticking with it, creating content, and really figuring out what my niche was, which is internet girlfriend, virtual girlfriend.
Okay.
Baby, I missed you. Baby, you want to see what I'm going to do before work? They do. Yeah. They want to see.
Yeah. And they want to feel the connection. Like, it's kind of a dime a dozen for like these girls that have no niche and no category, and it's just like run of the mill, and an agency manages them. Like, I just feel like the era of that working for people isn't working as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's not intimate, and you can tell that it's not intimate.
Right.
And it's not like, even I don't watch a bunch of other people's stuff, but my friends that send me their stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, my shit's real different. My shit's real different, because you essentially feel like I'm your girlfriend. Mm-hmm. I'm showing up and I'm like, that's really fun. Catering to you while I'm catering to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think you have to really enjoy it. You have to want to be seen. You have to be an exhibitionist. Like, if you have any kind of shame in it, don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
Don't. Because then you're going to be that person who's, you know, on a podcast talking about how, like, demonizing other fucking people because you didn't feel confident, because you had a bad experience, because you did it because you just needed money. Some of us do it because we fucking love it.
Totally.
I like being seen.
Yeah.
I like knowing men are unraveling for me all over the world. It's not like it's just San Antonio men who are buying my content. Like, I got men all over the world looking at me, and it feels incredible because
that's very exhibitionist.
Baby, yes, and you know what? It's such a healing thing after having one person. I had one person that I was willing to do anything
and that was
for,
consistently rejecting
me, and now I have 1,000 people.
Yeah.
I just hit 1,000 subscribers.
Wow. Fuck yeah.
Finally. I thought it would never happen. But yeah, now I have all these people who are not only watching, but praising, but giving, like, it's almost like all those years of the rejection, all those years.
A little extra now.
Yes. So it's so much of, you know, it's just like finally coming back to me. You know what I mean? Like, every time that I walked in a room and he didn't say anything, now it's kind of like, oh, don't worry.
Right.
Don't worry
being
about
worshipped
it.
By people that you haven't met, like realizing
being begged to be worshipped at that. I am being begged, DiAnne, please let me worship you. DiAnne, I'll do anything for this. Oh, you're this and that. And it's so fun to hear. Also, I'm a super realistic person. Like, I know to not let these things like override or like get in my head or just be like, oh, you know, and create a fantasy about it. You know what I mean? It's what I want. I want for strangers to see. And I want for strangers to beg. And it's been such a fun ride to be able to have all of it.
Yeah.
And this is what I mean. Like, I vividly remember arguing with my ex-husband because he's like, you can't have it all. You can't have it all, DiAnne. You're unrealistic. No one's going to beg you. No one's going to want you. No one's going to want this or that. And it was like, I'm being so fucking for real when I tell you guys, you can have it all. You can have it all. You just have to know what you want.
Yes.
You have to know what you want. You have to, I can't say that's enough. If you are not confident in the person that you are, it is impossible to get what you want.
And then so leaving, but then jumping right into another relationship, there's not going to be a window for you to figure out who the fuck you are and what you want. You know, like, I think that's important. Like you were talking about, like, I mean, at the end of my relationship, I thought it was literally fucking asexual. And I moved to Austin and I met a guy and we dated for a few months, not super casual or not super intense, like boyfriend, girlfriend, but like we were dating and we were having good sex. And I realized I like sex. And it was like, that was not my person. And that was a catalyst for me. But I think that the fear of being alone for somebody that's been in a very safe, comfortable relationship for many years, it's fucking terrifying.
It is.
And that has a lot of women jumping in back-to-back relationships. And like, maybe I shared this earlier. I don't think I've said it on the pod already, but like, I remember being in college and there were friends of mine that didn't feel comfortable, myself included, for a period. I didn't feel comfortable going to eat at the cafeteria alone. Like, just doing stuff alone was this thing in my late teens and early 20s. So if you're jumping into your first marriage or relationship in your early 20s, you're not cultivating that, learning, like flexing that muscle of how to just be independent at all.
Yeah.
And it's fucking terrifying when you get out there. And then I went to the opposite spectrum of like lots of sex, lots of field, lots of casual. And now I'm finding myself in this new chapter where I'm actually like almost, I'm not going to say celibate, but like basically like the last month where I'm like, I need to recalibrate.
It has everything to do with you honoring everything you want. It has everything to do with you honoring, I can have it all and I'm not going to settle for anything but that.
Totally.
It's all about that. You know who you are.
Yes.
And you know that men fucking suck. And lately they've been sucking so bad.
I'm exhausted.
But this is the thing, is like you're able to recognize it.
Yeah.
And that's, I think a lot of women can't.
That's a good point. Because a little bit of me has been like, whoa, what's going on? I'm like doing such a dramatic shift. But what I'm realizing, like you just said too, it's like I'm actually just in touch with myself and what I want. And it's no longer the casual thing. It's no longer feeling good. It's not boosting me. It's making me feel depleted.
Yeah, but without that casual, you wouldn't know.
Totally. Oh,
It really requires.
And I wouldn't know what a kinky bitch I am.
Baby, like, you don't have to call it your slut era.
Right. Call it whatever you want.
But you do need to allow yourself to have experiences, to discover what you do and don't like. Without that, you can, it's like something that women do so often that I think is funny is when they're like, I want to be spoiled. I deserve to have blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you've actually probably never experienced that. Like, because you wouldn't just say, I want to be spoiled. Mm-hmm. If somebody asks me, how do you like to spoil yourself? Like, what do you do to be spoiled? I could tell you like 50 different fucking things because I do it for myself.
Right.
I do all of those things for myself.
Yeah.
I think we were talking about that earlier too, where I'm like, I love being alone. I like to be alone because I treat myself so good.
Yeah.
And I know that no one is going to disappoint me. Totally. And I know that I can have everything that I want from me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like I was saying, y'all can have everything you want. Give it to yourself first.
Yes.
Give it to yourself first.
The next person after the marriage or the relationship isn't going to, magically fill these other things.
Well, they can't if you don't tell them.
Right.
How are you supposed to know?
And how are you supposed to know if you don't try stuff out?
You have to experience it. That's what I'm saying. Like, the first thing you have to do once you're out of this relationship or you're about ready to be out of it is just admit to yourself, like, I don't know myself that great. I might not know myself that well because I've gotten lost. I mean, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
I was done with this relationship and I was like, who are you? What do you really want? What feels so luscious? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm a deep ass bitch. I'm a romantic fucking person. I romanticize everything and I deserve to have that. But yeah, it took me sitting and being like, okay, girl, it's a good, okay. So I listened, I think it was an audiobook and I can't, off the top of my head, I don't remember what it was. But there was an audiobook that I listened to where they explained no, I'm lying. It was a podcast where she describes how to find your perfect partner, how to manifest your perfect partner. Yeah. And essentially what you're going to do is you're going to write down everything that makes that person perfect. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying looks, not, I want a 6'3" blue eye. It's, I want someone who's gentle. Yeah. So for me, it would be like, I want someone who's romantic. I want someone who is creative. Mm-hmm. I want someone who is doting. Like things like, I want someone who can cook. Yeah. I want someone all these little things that are super important to me, right? Like these are things that are just, I don't want to be without for non-negotiable for a long-term partner, essentially. But you look at that list and go down the list. And if you don't have that trait, you cannot manifest that. Yeah. Because you don't have that within you to be able to recognize it in another person. So let's say someone who's super doting is in front of me, but I'm not that person or I've never experienced it. I can't recognize that. I can't clock that shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it takes you experiencing it, being it, embodying it to be able to manifest it, to be able to recognize it, and to be able to allow it to come into your life. Like you have to be able to do it yourself. And that is why I'm like, I'm good alone. Yeah. I'm good alone. Yeah. I make myself come so hard. Like I squirt alone and I don't squirt with men. You know what I mean? Like I've had one man make me squirt. Yeah. One. Same. Girl. Yeah. One. But I do it to myself all the time. And that's why I'm my favorite. I love me so much because that bitch don't fuck around. You know what I mean? Like I can cook what I want. I go to fucking dope places.
You're your best place partner. Is You're cute. A great partner to yourself.
Baby, I'm good to myself. And and so many people have asked me, like, well, what are you looking for in a partner? I'm like, me. Yeah. I'm looking for me.
I'm looking for me, how I treat me.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking for someone who can give me what I give me and then some.
Right.
If you can't meet me at me, bye, bitch. I got time for that shit. Yeah. I don't have time to teach you anything. Yeah. We shouldn't have to be teaching anyone anything.
For sure.
What we should be doing is looking for someone who's compatible with us.
So meets me here and takes me here. Like I've found that like for me, as you know, like I very much went into like power dynamics and mommy dom. And I found that there was a lot of, especially if I was with like a younger partner, there was a lot of like nurturing and teaching and educating and like this is how you do kinky shit, and then I'm like this is depleting too. It's exhausting. Like and also like how lucky for them, but that's exhausting. Yeah. I would love to hear from you a little bit about like what you thought might happen going back into dating and sex and field and all that stuff. And like I'm not saying you because I feel like this might not have been a thing for you, but I feel like a lot of women and mothers would go into it being like nobody's going to want to be with me because I'm this age, because I have kids, because I'm whatever, like especially the age thing. But I think that is quite of interest to many men or younger men.
Right. So I'm 39.
Okay.
I'll be 40 in December. And hands down, no one fucking cares.
Yeah, no.
Men don't care.
They're actually quite eager. They
would prefer someone older.
Yeah.
They prefer my gray hair. They prefer exactly who the fuck I am because I like me. And that is infectious.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that women have to realize. People in general. Right. I feel like people have to realize when you love yourself and you genuinely like who you are, it is infectious. And people can't get enough of that shit.
Yeah.
They want it. They want it in their orbit because they want to be like that. They want to love themselves deeply because everybody tells you not to. You know what I mean? Everybody tells you that it's not okay to have kids and want to be a slut. And when I say slut, it's like, I just want to be open. I just want to experience pleasure and that's it. So I didn't really experience a ton of feeling bad about myself because I had felt bad about myself for so long. So when I got divorced, it was like, I'm done with that. I'm done with feeling bad.
Yeah.
I am done with feeling embarrassed. I'm done with being afraid to try new things. And I'm really going to honor all of the pleasures in my life. And that's kind of how I moved forward. It was like, okay, I got divorced when I turned 38. And it was like, I've got kids. I'm an old lady.
Oh, no.
I'm starting over. Like all these things just sound so horrifying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm starting over again.
Yeah.
I'm alone.
Yeah.
No. I was like, I'm going to get out there and go fucking nuts. And I'm going to tell people exactly what I want.
Yeah.
Like I remember my very first dating bio on Field was like, I'm a photographer. These are my likes and this is what I want. I want somebody who's going to wine and dine me and give me a reason to look gorgeous and give me all the compliments in the world. And if you can't do that, I don't have any interest in you. Like being super unapologetic about the things I want. And my dating bio, it changes with the seasons because sometimes I want something else.
Yeah.
But I'm so forward in the things that I want. I'm very, very, very clear in all of the things that I'm looking for because I need to experience to see if I like it or not. But because I don't think anybody should have to read my mind.
Definitely.
I don't think I should have to, and I don't like the idea of that, of like going into something kind of like unknown and seeing where it goes. I'm just here for the vibes.
Oh my God.
Fuck all that shit.
Yeah.
Don't bring your vibes over here. I know what I already want.
And it took me time of exploring like my kink and my kink journey and sexuality to have that little list of like likes and dislikes.
Yeah.
And then when I was new on my kink journey, I actually had like a list of it in my phone notes app of like literally things I liked and didn't like. And I would send it to guys.
Have you seen my spreadsheet?
Loved it. No.
Baby, I have a whole spreadsheet.
Oh,
I have a kink BDSM spreadsheet that
for you.
It's all for me. Yeah. So a past partner made it and he sent it to me and he's like, fill it out because this is important. I would really like to know your preferences.
Oh, this does ring a
and
bell.
That's and so I think I might have sent it to you. That was one of the things that really opened my eyes to how important it is to communicate your preferences.
Yes.
And how important it is to know your preferences. Because there were 1,000 things on there that I was like, well, I've never experienced it. I don't know if I like this or not. But that's the fun thing is on this spreadsheet.
Maybe we should try.
There you go. Because so his spreadsheet, it was like interested, not interested, done it, would try it. Like different, like there's a drop down menu. And then there's a comment section where I could say, this is something I would like to experience. Or, do I like this? Yes. This is specifically what I like. Like you can be really detailed with it, which is something that almost sounds taboo. To be like, oh, hey, we're going to have a sexual experience. Can I send you my spreadsheet real quick so that you can have some insight? But you know what's really great is I recently went to LA to shoot some erotic scenes because that's kind of like my photography thing right now.
Yes.
And I connected with somebody on Field that I wanted to spend some time with. And we FaceTimed and together we went through my spreadsheet and we talked about each thing together.
That sounds like good foreplay.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
It was kind of like foreplay in some instances where like he's like looking and reading and like talking about it and I'm just and we're FaceTiming and I'm looking at him and I'm just like,
wow,
this is gonna be so fun. And it's cool to, I think for most people it would be scary to expose yourself like that. And some people might find it a little embarrassing because there's the option to be rejected. Somebody could be like, you're a little too freaky for me. But it also goes into having...
Said no man ever, though.
It also goes into being able to communicate to another
right.
person
There's a responsibility
really well.
For certain, like if you know what you like and know what gets you off and you're not communicating it and then you're disappointed after a sexual encounter, like part of that is on you. I mean, for me, I use toys to come, and for me there was a lot of shame with that because of porn and it just, guys think their dicks are magical, and like that's not how I come. And so my sex life has gotten so much better, and I look forward to sex more when I pre-communicate it with a partner.
Right.
And for most guys it's not a big deal, and now I'm confident to bring out my toy during a sexual encounter, but like I was not, even after I started this podcast, it still took me a while to get comfortable, but like I was not having orgasms. I would literally have them after the guy left. I've never been somebody to fake them. Like I'm pretty authentic about that. But I wasn't having orgasms. And it was because I didn't feel comfortable, and I didn't want their feelings to be hurt. But I wasn't wanting to, there was no
You're doing a disservice to yourself by not communicating clearly, or by not even, I mean, you can just make the suggestion like, hey, you want to try something really fucking cool? Let's make me come.
And guys love when I tell them, this is like what I want you to do to me while I use my toy. Like they love it. And I think that's why, if there's a woman too listening that's like has some fantasy about like kind of younger guys, like they love a woman who knows direction. They love the confidence, the clarity. Like I can't say after having dated some younger guys in New York that I want them to be my boyfriend at this point, because there's some growing up to do. However, like it's really hot and it's fun, and they are very much drawn to like, oh, the 25-year-old girl that I'm talking to has no idea what she likes. Like they love it.
Oh yeah, they
love
and
mommy.
And on top of that, on top of how hot that is, you are getting exactly what you want. Remember when I said you could have it all? Bitch, it's all about communicating exactly what you want.
Yeah.
You can. And you know what's really beautiful is I can have a partner and like, hey, these are all the things I like, and they can say, I don't like any of that. I don't like any of those things. And you can either say, great, we're incompatible. I'm not going to fuck you because you're just going to waste my time. Like, this is obviously pointless. Or you can say, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
What should we do instead then?
Right.
Because most of us are so open to so many things.
Yeah.
Why not just explore in a different way?
Well, and that's why I love the discourse between two people that have experience with kink. I think that's an important differentiator here, is like, I've tried to have some of those open dialogues with somebody like from Hinge, and it just doesn't get very far.
These vanilla guys don't fucking, they're not it. They're not it. They're like, I'm going to spank you so hard. Honey. No, you're not.
Yeah.
I know you're not going to.
Because we're not even going to meet. But like, yeah, I think that is an important distinction of like, you're not necessarily going to be met with like the most communicative, responsive, experienced guy if he's not experienced in this space.
Yeah.
And not all people listening or women listening are necessarily going to want to go the kinky route. But like, I still think it's important to know that not all men are going to meet you there with the communication part, but how they respond to your directness is indicative of exactly where they're at. If they're like, oh, that's cool, I like it all. Like that's one that I've seen before.
That's one I can't stand.
Or you know, speaking on more kinky terms, like if a guy wants to be dominant but is literally uncomfortable with the idea of having ever been submissive, like that's a red flag too. Like there's the way that people, potential partners of any gender, respond to your directness about your pleasure and sexuality tells you all you need to know.
And not only that, but you need to take that information and use it. Because so many people will, I mean, I've got girlfriends that'll be like, oh, I met this guy and he was so hot, but.
Right.
I'm like, that butt's important, girl. Why are you not listening to this part? Like, you need to, again, this goes back to, we are not dating for compatibility. Most people are not dating because this person is compatible with me. We like the same things. And to go back to what you're saying, like some people might not want kinky, some people do.
Right.
You know this. Like, if you're aware of the fact that you're not a super kinky person, get the fuck off field. Get off field.
Sure.
If you are more of a vanilla person and you want to be on apps, find something that actually works for you. And if you find that it doesn't, get off and try something new. Like, it's okay for things to not work out. It's okay for, like, I've been on Tinder, I've been on Hinge, I've been on Bumble, I've been on Chirp, I've been on everything. And the only thing that works for me is field.
Yeah.
And even then, most of the time, I'm incognito and not on the fucking thing because I'm not finding it.
Right.
And then there are times where I'm on and I'm like, holy shit, build is the best. I love it here. This is so fun.
I'm like, that's ovulation week. But
that's ovulation week. It really is. No, seriously. But I think it's like people just not realizing that they're putting themselves in like not a bad situation, but it's not where you belong. Like be real with yourself about who you are. I mean, again, I can say it a million times. You need to go back. You need to be curious about yourself. You need to discover what your likes and dislikes are. It doesn't have to happen overnight, but like while you're there, it's okay for it to be messy and weird and imperfect and uncomfortable and embarrassing. Like you have to go through all of those things in order for you to find the pleasure.
Yeah.
Because if you're not feeling uncomfortable about something at some point,
oh my gosh,
you can't feel the pleasure. Like you have to be silly. Like I can't tell you how many times, I mean, I've been tied to a bed like and just feeling like an idiot and like this is not something I really enjoy, or trying a new position that just hurts and doesn't feel good.
Yep.
But now I can tell other people, don't do that.
Right.
Don't do that. I don't want to do that. I don't like that. I know that I don't like that because I just experimented and I tried shit. And this, again, this can be done alone. I have lots of dildos that I played with alone because I wanted to figure out what I really did and didn't like. I wanted to figure out positions I really did and didn't like without people.
Yes.
Like without having to, that was like when I first got divorced. I was experimenting a lot of things alone in my room and sending videos to Joel about it, which was super fun and exciting because I had someone, one, encouraging me, but two, I knew myself. I knew without a doubt. I could tell another person like, yeah, I don't like it when you do that. Well, and a lot of times they'll say, why not? Or, oh, sorry.
I've tried it.
and that's the part that I think is missing for a lot of people is they don't know the why. They don't know what they do and don't like. They're not willing to just be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And it's just so important.
Yeah.
And it's fun. I think that's a part that I think you're missing out on so much fun if you're letting fear win. You're missing out on the best version of you if you are too afraid. If you're so worried about your body, if you're so worried about rejection, if you're so worried about all the things that you've been dealing with in your relationship that you're in, because that's what it was.
Yeah.
When I was married, it was constant rejection. I did not feel good about my body, even though I knew what I looked like. You know what I mean? I was like, I like me.
Yeah.
I like me.
But if you don't
so
have your
much.
other half who's like excited about your body and complimenting you
and not even just
excited
that,
to
like
have sex with you,
constantly rejecting you.
Yeah.
I think that was, I think you resonate with that so much. Like that rejection fucking hurts. But when you're alone and you're experimenting things, no one can reject you.
Yeah.
No one's rejecting
Well,
me.
and if you're afraid to try stuff out on your own, what makes you think that the next person that comes along, it's going to be some incredible sexual relationship?
Right.
Like that's all of a sudden putting all of the pressure on this person to fix you, to fix the situation. And I remember, and I'm saying this because I relate to it. I mean, I remember after getting out of my relationship, I also bought some additional sex toys and was watching different kinds of porn and doing these different things. And it was like, I have to get comfortable with me. My sex life isn't just going to get better just because I've left this relationship. Like that's not how it works.
We all need to take responsibility for our own joy, our own pleasure, and that exploration. We need to hold ourselves accountable for what feels good.
Yeah.
It's not for anyone to discover. It's not for anyone to decide, or it's not for anyone to be like, oh, let me help you figure this out. Like, and I had Joel. I had someone who helped me and who did expose things to me. But it took me not being afraid to show up to his house and be like,
be super vulnerable.
Let's fucking do it. I mean, my very first sexual experience with him, I cried. I cried at the end. I sobbed and he held me in his bed. I sobbed my eyes out because I had never been touched like that before.
Wow.
Ever. And he laughed. He was like cracking up and I'm laughing, crying, and we're naked and he's holding me. And I'm just like,
but that's such a dramatic shift.
I couldn't believe I experienced everything I had been wanting to experience so deeply with my husband, who I was in love with, who I gave kids to, that I shared my life with, that this person could not give me something. I had just met Joel a few hours before that.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and I'm crying in his bed and he's holding me and he's realizing like,
wow.
Whoa.
Right.
Whoa, she needed that. Like it was such an intense release that I didn't think that was going to happen. Like the sex was so good and so amazing, so intense, so connected.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was going to happen. And I remember like it finishing and I'm sitting there and I'm just like, oh my God. And I was like, that was so fucking good. Oh my God.
You're like, I'm so glad I got divorced.
I can't.
Like truly.
It
was probably also relief from that of like, what if I just stayed? What if I hadn't?
Oh, you have no idea how many times I think about that because I would have stayed longer because I was so comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I was so comfortable. Yep. And you know what? A lot of us are looking at it and it's like, is it that bad?
Right.
It is.
Yeah.
It is terrible.
Well,
it is terrible
and it's like, if it's platonic, like, babe, it's platonic, And I think that there's a time and place, like, if you're in your 70s and you haven't had sex in a few years, I mean, like, I think that there's grace here, okay? You guys have been together 50 years. If it's platonic in your 30s or 40s and you're not having sex or you're having very infrequent obligatory sex, that's just your bestie or your bud or your roommate,
your homies. Y'all are homies. Yep. That's it.
I was and you know what?
I say that all the time to people when they ask about my divorce. I'm like, I was married to a very good friend and we acted like very good friends. Yep. And that was the beginning and end of it. There was nothing else there.
Yeah.
There were just two people who had we both like the same music and food. That there was no intimacy. I didn't feel seen. I didn't feel confident. Above all, I didn't feel fucking safe. I didn't feel safe.
What do you mean by that?
I wasn't safe in my body. When it was time to have sex or if I wanted to, I was scared. I remember laying in bed next to my husband. I'd be laying in bed and he's here, he's asleep. And I'd be like, I want to fuck this man so bad, but he's going to tell me no.
Wow.
He's going to tell me no. And I would roll over and like rub his back. And he would just be like, no. Or, I'm trying to initiate and
I feel like that's usually role reversed. It's usually the women rejecting, or at least in the media it is. I
was the man in the marriage. Yeah. That's really what it was. I was the man in the marriage and I was just so deeply, fearful of constantly being rejected. And I just felt so unsafe because I wasn't enjoying it.
Well, and then he's feeding into this loop by telling you you're hypersexual. So, like, now there's something wrong with you for wanting sex. I've heard this before from women, so I think it's more common than we realize. It's almost like being weaponized. Our sexuality is being weaponized.
It is. Us. No, it is. And and on top of that, he was punishing me. Like if we fought, it'd be like, oh, no sex for you, like a woman. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna sleep on the couch for a week while you're in our bed, and I'm gonna ignore you, and I'm gonna wear a sweater throughout the house, and I'm gonna cover my whole entire body up so you can't see me, and I'm gonna pretend you don't exist. Yeah. And that is so painful, and it's really violent. It's really violent. That silence, the rejection, it's very violent to a person. Yeah. It's hurtful. It makes you feel
psychological fighting. It's like deeper.
It's so much deeper because if you're rejecting someone so much and you don't have, any kind of sexual gratification when you're with them, why are you with them? Because it's easier, because it feels safe, because you're incompatible, dude. Just fucking let it go. Let it go and find somebody who makes you feel good. So
moral of the story, divorce. Get a divorce.
Do it. Leave them.
Dump them. And this isn't this. I mean, obviously, this has been kind of a gendered conversation, but like it goes both ways. If you're unhappy and like you're craving more on a deeper level,
absolutely. Like I wish my ex-husband would have been like, you know what, you are just like, I can't keep up with you, and that's okay.
Right.
We're incompatible, and I used to say it all the time. I'm like, babe, we just are not good for each other. We're just not good. You're not giving me the things I want. Right. And I mean, we never really, this was the thing too, is like our arguments weren't terrible. We weren't like screaming or throwing, like they weren't bad.
And it wasn't need to be that bad for it to end though. You know what I mean?
So I think that's something that's super important to talk about. Mm-hmm. If you are unhappy, regardless of how good your marriage is, no matter how comfortable it is, it doesn't matter if things aren't that bad.
Yeah.
If you are not fulfilled, if you are with someone who is not making you happy, you're sad, you feel fearful, your body's not safe when you're with them, you're not coming, you're not getting anything that makes you you.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Why? What are you there for? I can say that I was there for the fact that it was just comfortable.
Yeah.
It was
okay.
It was okay for me to be there. We weren't fighting. It wasn't abusive. It was just, we're just incompatible. And a lot of people don't see it that way.
Right.
A lot of people are looking at it like, our marriage is so good. When it's good, it's good. Oh,
right.
I fucking hate that.
The biggest red flag. The biggest red flag.
Good, when it's so good when we're good. And I used to say it. We would say it to each other all the time. Like, why? I remember I actually read some of our text messages the other day.
Yeah.
Because I've never deleted any of our text messages from me and my ex-husband. I have all of our from like forever. So I went back and looked at some of them the other day, and I read a conversation where he was just like, I don't understand why I can't understand you. Oh. And he was like, when it's good, it's really good. He's like, but I don't think it's good for you.
Wow.
And because it wasn't.
Right.
Everything.
There was truth, and there was like.
Yeah. Everything that man did. Everything. He tried very hard, but we are too different. We're incompatible. The way my brain works, he could not comprehend. To this day, he still cannot comprehend it.
Yeah, you're very different.
Because I'm so sure of what I want.
Yeah.
And not giving me what I want is not going to work for me.
Right.
And spending so many years with someone where I'm telling them, this is what I want, and you can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
Does not make you a bad person. Yeah. It just means you're not my person. And I never even after the divorce, I never was like, oh, I hate that guy. Oh,
that's good. I think it's also important
him.
For people to hear that that's possible too. That it always doesn't have to be this.
It doesn't
catastrophic
not at all.
thing.
And and he was there were lots of times he was a absolute terror in my life. Yeah. He was an absolute horrible person to me. And by ignoring me, like there was a time where I sat in the shower for like 4 hours crying. Oh. And he walked in and he said, I'm going to order a sandwich. Do you want anything?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And I'm sobbing and I'm on the floor in the shower and I look up at him and I'm like,
this is why we need emotionally attuned men. I need the emotionally tapped in.
I sincerely cannot imagine walking into the bathroom and seeing my husband on the floor sobbing and me not going into the shower and holding and being like, what is happening? Like, what can I do?
For sure.
No. And then he walked back in like another hour later and was like, I ordered you a sandwich and it's on the table, even though you said you didn't want one. Like he was doing something fucking helpful to me. And it was like, your idea of being here and supporting me is not what I need.
Yeah.
This is actually really detrimental to my mental health. This is not what I need to have in my life. And the moment that ceased to exist, I was able to create such a better mindset for myself because I didn't have somebody constantly pulling me back into the bullshit that they lived in.
Yeah.
I can't live there with you.
Yeah.
My brain does not live there. My body doesn't feel safe where you're at. As a matter of fact, I was super suicidal. I was honestly extremely suicidal when I was with him because I felt like everything was wrong with me. Yeah. And it hurt so deeply to be that rejected for so long that it got to the point where I was like, I never want to feel like this. I never want to feel like this ever fucking again. And now I don't. And it's really fucking nice.
Well, I am so glad that you have come around and had all these experiences. And I think it's a really important conversation for women to hear.
Yeah.
Where can people find you on socials? And I'm assuming if people wanted to shoot with you too.
Absolutely.
Tell them where they could find you.
On Instagram, you could find me at dirty.dianne_. I'm not on a whole bunch of other stuff on OnlyFans. I actually don't know my handle. I think it's mx.gia.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. It could be Tiny Gia.
Find her Instagram first.
Find my Instagram. Click the link in the bio, like everybody else. You'll get there. I don't advertise my photography page just because I really don't. But on Tiny Diane, on Dirty Diane, you can find me and shoot me a DM or leave a comment. I'm here to shoot. I shoot primarily erotic scenes and then fine art erotic scenes, baby. I'm on OnlyFans. You want to collab? Let me know. But I'm also, even with that, I'm like really particular about it because I care about it. I care about who I'm fucking and what I'm doing because I honor me and y'all should too. Y'all really should too.
Well, thank you so much for chatting today. This was lovely.
This is so lovely. I can't wait to do it more later today.
Thanks so much for tuning in today. Don't forget to follow us on Spotify, Apple, and or YouTube, as well as on Instagram at Seggs Talk Radio. That's Seggs, SEGGS. And before you go, head over to testy.co to join the waitlist for our 2026 launch. We are reinventing same-day walk-in STI testing nationwide.